Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the build. We're starting to get to a point where this thing is actually going to be a functional and useful building, which I'm pretty excited about. So today, I am getting started by running our temporary power feed from the other barn to the new barn. If you missed the last video, our utility company is at some point going to run a dedicated 400 amp service to this barn, but that's not happening for a while. So I am stealing the feed from the horse barn and just bringing it up to this barn over here. So the horse barn has a 100 amp service. It's off the pole, so that will limit me to 100 amps in here, which is enough to do what I'm doing now, but doesn't give me any more growth potential. So the things I was planning on adding to to the business, I won't be right now, at least, because I can't power them. But it's not like I can afford that right now anyway, because I just paid for this. So maybe it won't matter and it'll all work out in the end. So we have 225 feet from the corner of that barn to the corner of this barn here. So my electrician ordered me up some direct bury service wire. This is 1/0, and we are going to get this pulled through the building to its panel. So I'm going to enter here through this fan vent hole thing here. And if you're asking why not just use the window because it opens, it's painted shut. So I'm taking the path of least resistance. In theory, all I have to do is pop this fan out and that'll be it, but we'll see how that goes. So once we get into here, it should be fairly easy. We'll go up in the ceiling here of the stalls, hop across all the way here through my wood collection over there, and then we'll pop a hole next to this junction box, and that'll get us into the tack room, which is where the panel is. So coming right through here, this is the tack room. This is where all the tack is. We have some of the tack that came with the house in here still, which is kind of cool. A little bit of history of the horses that used to live here. Anyway, panels here. So this pipe here, this piece of conduit, goes through into that junction box. I'm going to pop through next to it, and we can just tie our wire off and come down to the panel. Now this is a temporary install. I don't really care how pretty it is. Don't really care. It's just got to be connected. That's about it. So I'm just going to string it up and be done with it, and I can move on with my life. Or my electrician can come and hook up everything on both ends of the wire, and I can move on with my life. All right, so I got my we got my little spool thing here all set up, high tech, and I think I'm gonna go and see how this fan is gonna go. It might not go. It's kind of crusty. Oh, that's gross. This installed from the outside? Oh my god, it's installed from the outside. Okay, well, let's go see what that looks like. Alright, I've been looking at this for a little bit, and I don't think this is gonna happen right now. So these little anchor pieces here are what the bolts go through and tie into from the inside. And here on the inside, I can just kind of barely see one of the bolt heads there. And of course, the rest of them have been covered by the sheathing and the siding. So a quick pull it out of there and move on with your life isn't going to happen. I was hoping that'd be a quick solution, just unbolt the fan and kind of move on, but I guess we'll play with the window now. and we'll see kind of how that goes. I'm trying not to spend a whole lot of time doing this, and I don't have a whole lot of time today, and I need to get this done so it's ready for the electricians to come in. So yeah, that's first of all, it's not in good shape. Well, maybe I could just okay, let me get a knife, and maybe this will actually be the easier way in. Oh, look at that. Oh, that side opens. Guess we're going on that side. I should have tried this earlier. I was busy trying the other side. Okay. Boop. You can spend a half an hour messing around with stuff, or you can just open a window. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. I got about 20 minutes here. Then I gotta go pick up my trencher. So I was hoping to have this kind of in here and done with as I was messing around with this morning. But I think we'll at least get it pulled in there and get it up to the point where it used to go through the wall. And then I'll drop this reel and we'll go dig a trench. So I got this wire pulled in here, far enough for now. I got to drill that hole through into the tack room still, but I'm not super worried about doing that right now because I'm gonna go pick up the trencher. It's a trencher attachment for the skid steer. I'm way more concerned about getting this trench in today. It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so hopefully I'm gonna take some time off and not have to worry about this. We also have some nice warm weather today, so the ground should be a little more thawed by the time I get started here with the trench. So I'm gonna go into town and go rent a trench attachment for that thing. Okay, there's our trench attachment. Yeah, when we get started on this trench, I got that rental for 4 hours. And it's got to go back today because tomorrow is Thanksgiving and they're closed. If I don't get back today, I got to pay for all of tomorrow if I'm not using it. So I'll start getting the machine switched over to trenching mode. I am not going to be trenching very deep for this wire because it's going to come out again. So maybe 6 to 8 inches down. I just want the wire below the ground enough so I don't run it over with a snowmobile or a lawnmower. Or does this get damaged and then, someone gets zapped or whatever. So not super particularly deep at this point, and I can pull it out later. I know some people suggested running a conduit and pulling it through there. I don't really feel like doing that. That's my answer on that one. That doesn't sound like something I want to do today. And then I have to trench at like a normal depth and pull this wire through a conduit to put it in and pull it out again. So I don't really feel like doing that. If I want to run something for real between the barns through a conduit, I'll install a conduit for real later when I actually know what it is that I want to run between the buildings. Well, there's the trench so far. I already clipped one of the electric fence lines. Good thing I'll need that. And we're getting up to a little roadway, so for however many years there's been gravel piled here, so we're going to go through about 12 feet of gravel and then we'll be back to sand, this stuff. was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
It was pretty quick when it's sandy like this.
This was 16 minutes to cross this field. I think that's pretty good. Not even an hour. Alright, well, let's go. I'm going to return my trencher. Let me hose it off for him.
Yeah, you gotta clean it.
It's full of grass. So it's kind of like the Thanksgiving crew this weekend. My dad's going to help pull the cable through here the rest of the way. I think the boys are going to come out and help as well. Last little thing in the barn here, I got to drill that hole through into the tack room, and then we should be ready to unroll that cable into that trench. I guess we can go either way because it's hollow. That's it, I think.
Through? Give it a little more, Matthew.
I got some there for you.
That's plenty.
Yeah, like that.
That's good.
That's good.
That's plenty.
Alright, so now we can get it over to the trench.
That's good, man.
Okay, it's one empty spool, one coil of wire, ready to go into the building. So they should be out here this week to set one of the panels inside. It'll become a permanent panel later on, but for now it'll be a sub panel until the actual service is installed, and that panel will be one of the two 200 amp panels which will be installed there. So they come by sometime this week, get that knocked off. I think the door should be coming in soon, so we'll have that to install as well, and that'll probably be the next thing that we're doing the next time I see you. Hello there. It's been about 10 days since that last little segment there. In that time, our electrician stopped by and got started on things. So our temp wire is now going into the building, and that should be where the service entrance ends up later, so we don't have extra holes that we don't actually need. With that, we also got the grounding system installed too, so that is installed and taken care of. And this is just disconnected, just kind of laying here still. But if we go inside, so there is that wire coming in. We have one panel hung. We'll put the second panel up when the actual service is installed. There's no real point of putting in all the stuff for that now because it's not really needed, but there'll be a second panel and a little box thing up here to allow them to split the service between the two panels. So our one outlet on here is now off of here. So we got one circuit installed so far, but at least this isn't running off of that the horse water anymore. It's on this panel, which is super nice. They also started to get some trunk lines installed, so we got a little bit of pipe up there, at least to that point. So these will be the feeds for whatever's going to happen down here. I'm having them run them kind of up along the roof so they don't get in the way of the open space here. So they'll come right across the bottom of these purlins here all the way down. So that'll give me power for the lights. I'll have a drop somewhere for the surfacer, and then a dust collector will be mounted back there on the far end wall. So they'll swing by and run some more conduit when they have some time. I'm not, it's not a huge rush at this point, but check this out. Look what showed up today. Finally. Right as promised. First week of December, they said this door would be here. It is December 7th. The door hardware and the door panels and everything has arrived, so yay. And out here are the actual panels. So there's the door, ready to go in. So Donovan will be out at some point in the next few days. He's kind of looking for a good stopping point on the project that he's on right now. He's doing a basement finish. I know some of you have been following that over on his YouTube channel. He's finishing a basement right now, and he's doing sheetrock. So I think he's trying to get to a point where the rock is hung and maybe first coat of mud's up or something like that to have a nice day to put a pause on that project, to stop out here and hang out and install a garage door. So that's what we'll see next. I'll see you in a few days or whatever, and we'll install a garage door. We'll see how that goes. Good morning, everyone. We are installing a garage door today, so we'll be able to actually use this hole to its fullest advantage of holiness.
The barn hole.
The barn hole will be used. So this is our door unboxed. Again, we were at it's a 14-foot wide opening, 12 feet high. We got 6 panels, 14 feet wide, and we got the garage door installer man guy here.
We got an installer showing up?
We got an installer showing up, yeah.
Sweet!
Surprise!
That's nice.
I got you a present. A door installer. So we are getting started prepping the bottom panel. The bottom here gets this bracket, which attaches to the cable, which will, lift it up and down. There's also this little bracket here, which holds the roller.
Drop it off. Just get going. It's almost lunch.
Oh my god, it is.
I wasn't kidding.
I don't know how like hyperbolic you're being.
Yeah, a second. Okay.
It'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
I'm not playing that game.
You played this one, haven't you?
I have played this game. I always lose. And I got free packing material.
There you go. It's totally worth the build.
This is like $4.
Can you start coming up with your end? Yep. Back towards you. Alright, you can get it up in there.
This gets tall pretty quickly.
Yep. I'm gonna grab you one more screw.
That one?
Top one. The dent in the door, is it?
There's no dents.
You did dent the door.
I know. Give it a little love tap.
Right here.
Tappy tap.
Little tappy enough. There you go. Just gotta come back. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're in now. Tweak me a little bit. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you're clear. Oh, hang on. Oh, stop.
Not clear.
There's a fork right there. See the nuts on the spring here? On the spring, can you reach those? I
These?
just tightened.
Yeah, with their freaking death grip Gorilla Man hands.
I did tighten with my finger.
Oh my god! That one went.
Go on. Good.
So I got like 4 inches on this side?
Yeah.
3.5, something.
Like that.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
So I remember we did a grain elevator door. Like, so this is what semis would pull through. So I think these were 14 by 16, 16 tall.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of weight in there, so it's like trying to get them the tensioned up. And I'm 18, 19 doing this.
Oh, so you were smart, you know?
Oh, it was like, yeah, all the smarts were there. So I'm gonna just put a little tension so my cables, can you see my cable on my other side already? Now I need to move to that one. I just got to put something on here so it holds it. And I'll move over to this side and start doing wraps on that one. All right. Good. Down, driver. That should be, I mean, it should be able to hold.
Very pink outside today.
Huh. I thought there'd be more daylight. That might go another quarter of a turn.
Get the doors assembled and mostly installed. Now we're adding some support pieces here for the rails. Didn't even see you install that. Sneaky.
Might be another, just a little bit more.
Well, there is the door. That's quite a bit of door. It's functional, which is nice. It still needs a little bit of tweaking or whatever. We want to put some more bracing up in here, but we have to come back and install all of the truss bracing still anyway, so that's something for some other time. But at least for today, the goal was to at least get this door functional, so this opening becomes functional, so that we can move forward with the floor sealing. You get this floor all sealed up, and once that's sealed up, we can actually start setting up and using the space, which is super nice. But there's our door, just floating in the air. So tomorrow, I'm gonna pull off these panels here, and then this opening will actually become functional. You know, we still have all the trim and stuff to put in on the outside, whatever. But again, at least we're to the point of it being functional, which is super nice. What do you think, Ellie? Yeah? It's a door hole again. Look how cool that sunrise looks. The floor is getting sealed today, so I'm super excited about that. So yesterday, I spent most of the day getting ready for that. So I pulled everything, well, just about everything out of the barn yesterday, and I got the floor cleaned up a little bit. So I had vacuumed most of the floor already, but there are a few spots where we had some stuff sitting that I didn't get to quite yet, so I took care of that. Having the floor completely perfect wasn't a necessity, but I really wanted to get the floor cleaned up because at this point it's covered in the fine dust from when they did the control joint cuts. So they had all the concrete dust floating in there, so the floor is covered in concrete dust. And then when we had the spray foam done, since that's all atomized, all of the fine particulates just kind of settle out onto the floor, and you have this like weird powdery staticky mixture thing that I really wanted to get out of there. So I knew this was my chance to get rid of that crap. So vacuumed the whole floor, Gave the whole floor a good leaf blowing. And today, this should be pretty quick, I hear. Like 20 minutes to apply and 2 hours to dry. So here's the empty barn, or mostly empty. So I'll pull these machines out when they get here. And that'll free up all the space back here. The flattening table will stay there. I'll have 6 points of contact, which won't get sealed. They're going to leave me some material, and I'll seal those areas once the floor is dried and once I get that moved. Same thing with the sawmill. It's got 4 points of contact. I'm not super worried about that space. I got a few pallets to throw outside this morning. The skid steer will go out, and then this whole area here in the front will be completely empty and ready to go. So I'll see you in a little bit when they get here. But here's the first or final look. Well, it's not really a final look. Here's a look at how it was after mostly yesterday it took to get to this point. So Rusty's out here today, and I got the sealer going down. This is the product he's using. It's a siloxane sealer. So it's a solvent-based sealer that penetrates and soaks in and just gets applied with a garden sprayer type thing. Goes on fairly light and it penetrates, and then a couple hours it is walkable and drivable, which is nice because today wasn't supposed to have any snow in the forecast, but as of this morning there is a almost 100% chance we're getting 2 inches this afternoon. So I'm going to have a very quick afternoon of putting things back away in here. So this sealer, unlike I guess like a surface level sealer, with it being penetrative, it doesn't really do anything to the surface. So in theory, the look of the concrete now is what it's going to look like once this is dried, so it won't look wet or polished or anything. It'll maintain this kind of dry concrete look, but will be sealed from water and stuff, which is a nice plus because I don't have to worry about having the floor completely clean. Like over here we got some dirt. That shouldn't be an issue at all. All right, sealer is down. About 2 hours, I can start moving things in. So in the meantime, I gotta go dig my pallet racks out of the snow and get those ready to go in. So they'll be all set to go in there. I can bring things in and put them right on the racks, and it's gonna be a mad dash. So it's been about an hour and a half since Rusty finished this area, and I don't know, 2 hours since the back was done. So as you can see, it just looks like how it did before, but now it's sealed and repels water. So yeah, you wouldn't. It's kind of weird. You wouldn't even know we did anything. But yeah, I am going to start moving back in here and getting things set up. So the next time you see this space in a few seconds, it'll have some stuff in it. It won't all be set up probably, but I'm at least going to try and get some racks set up and get some stuff in here because it is starting to snow right now as I speak. Just a couple of little wet spots here, but otherwise it looks like the rest of the floor is pretty much ready to go. So I still have a long way to go, but here's kind of a look at where I'm at now. So as soon as the floor is ready to be driven on, I brought in all of the small stuff on pallets. So basically all of the chair kit stuff, because I wanted to get out of the snow. The slabs are pretty easy to get snow off of because those were out there for the whole night. So they're already at ambient temperature, and the snow was coming down below freezing anyway. So the snow is not going to stick to it. You just got to get the snow off of it. So after I brought in all of the small stuff, I started getting the pallet racking all set up. so I could start bringing the wood in and then putting it directly, onto the racks. So I'm not staging things anywhere. Just goes right into the racks as it comes in, and not a big deal to just hit all the wood with a leaf blower real quick as it was coming in the door. It was kind of a long day. I didn't get done until about 7 o'clock that night, and I started bringing things in at noon. And then yesterday I got into kind of the smaller stuff, getting this rack up for the chair kit stuff. And I'm at the point now where I need to set up the actual chair kit packing area. And I'm also going through my dust collection fittings and things to see what I have and what I'm going to need to set up dust collection for this thing here. And I'll put a dust collector over there somewhere. So that's kind of where this is at. It's come a long way, but it's cool. It's really cool to have the space actually be like functional, and like the vision I have for the setup kind of playing out and evolving in my mind. I've got a nice spot over there for the telehandler to park. It's got crab steers, so it can drive on diagonal, so it can park itself in a corner. And what I want to do, at least on that end of the building, is make that more of a flex space for loading and unloading, so I can pull the trailer in and I can get the forklift either on the side of the trailer to unload or off the back of the trailer to unload, and do it that way. So having a telehandler there allows me to move the telehandler out of the way if I need to unload a trailer inside a building, which I have never been able to do before, but it sounds lovely. So that is going to do it for this one. The space is getting to be functional. I can at least make it functional now, and we'll keep going from there. So I'll bring you guys back and show you a little more of like the finished setup once things are a little more finalized and all of that, and we will go from there. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the barn thing or whatever, please feel free to leave me comments. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.